Yo, welcome back to the GM podcast. I'm Miller,
I'm Gav.
and today we're going to be talking about the first two games of the NFL season so far. Obviously, KC taking down Baltimore 27-20, and Philly
Yep.
taking down the Packers 34-29. Fly Eagles fly. But let's start off with the Ravens game. Um, my first question to you is: do you feel more confident about the Ravens after this game, or not?
Yeah, I actually love what I saw from the Ravens. I think from both teams, we saw a lot of uncharacteristic things. Um, we definitely in the first half gave them we lost the game really on, in my personal opinion, off the one turnover Lamar had, and we just kept giving them great field position, which you can't do with Mahomes. And we had a Roquan Smith specifically was very undisciplined. Even though Mahomes did flop on one of them, like that's a call that Mahomes gets, though. You have to know
Yeah.
that, if it makes sense. The horse collar he had, and yeah, it's just a lot of like costly penalties. I don't really understand the illegal formation thing still. Um, I guess they're
So
trying to give the defensive
yeah.
ends an advantage. I
Yeah,
don't know.
apparently the tackle's head has to be at the center's belt line. And Lane Johnson, I actually saw what they were talking about yesterday because they called it on Lane Johnson, but I did not see it in any of the game or on any of the snaps in the Ravens game. The Ronnie Stanley calls, I didn't see it,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know.
apparently they were trying to make a statement so no one else would do it the rest of the week or something like that. I don't really understand that.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, I thought the game was officiated fine. Um, but yeah, I would sound really confident. And although Lamar does have to make those throws at the end of the game, um, we're a toe tap away from going into, and I know John Harbaugh, he was gonna go for two. You even saw it on TV, he was gonna go for two. And I like our chances with Lamar running around trying to get 2 yards. Um, but yeah, I think Lamar made some plays that I don't think, other than obviously Mahomes, I don't think any other quarterback would I don't think any other quarterback in the NFL would have kept their team in the game because of the outstanding plays that he made off script. And I think Lamar gets a lot of hate that he can't beat Mahomes. Who can? You
No,
know,
yeah, nobody.
it's we give a lot of superstar players a lot of grief for not being able to beat legends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I mean, there's a lot of people who would have way more Super Bowls or whatever if they didn't go up against Tom Brady or you know what I'm saying? Stuff just
Yeah.
didn't go their way. So I think Lamar is a great all-time player, and I do like our chances. I even said this last year. I think we win the Super Bowl again as long as we don't face the Chiefs. But what's the odds of that? You know?
Yeah. Um like you said, y'all can't beat them. And this is
Yes.
why I think certain quarterbacks, the only way you can beat Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback has to execute perfectly the
Yeah.
entire game.
Perfectly.
So we have great quarterbacks in this league, but some of these guys can't execute. Lamar Jackson, in the biggest moments, during the game, he's going to keep you in the game the entire time because he's that
Yeah.
skilled as a football player. He's that talented. But at the end of the game, you have trouble trusting him to execute. Like I'm never 100% on Lamar Jackson. Jalen
No.
Hurts, even my quarterback, Jalen Hurts. I feel like at this point, even though he is a great quarterback, still he made great plays last night. But I do strongly believe that I expect a turnover, a wild turnover like he had yesterday, just
Yeah.
out of nowhere, at
Well,
least once a game at this point.
and you see it time and time again. I mean, other than when Josh Allen went toe to toe with him, if you make a mistake against Mahomes, it's pretty a crucial mistake. I mean, you see Lamar, you got to make that throw to Zay Flowers at the end of the game. Whether you saw him last minute and you were about to throw it, because he said in the interview he was about to throw it to
Rashad
was it
Bateman.
Gus, was it Gus Edwards or Rashawn Bateman
It
who
was
had
Rashad
yeah
Bateman. I didn't see that, but literally Lamar could have went Tony Parker floater right
yeah
over the defender, and that's a touchdown.
yeah you got to make that throw to Zay Flowers and the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, like we said, he can't fumble that ball. You make those one mistakes against Mahomes, and it's game.
It's
That's really
game.
what it is. You let Mahomes get any type of momentum. We saw him up or down. What was he down against Deshaun Watson? What was it?
24-0.
24-0. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's you can't make mistakes against the Chiefs, especially you can't let them get momentum. Especially, but I was impressed that in Arrowhead we
Yeah.
converted on third down and long a lot. Which passing wise, I don't think we've been a great third down and long team with Lamar. We're usually a team that's always on schedule. When we get off schedule, we struggle a little bit. So
Yeah.
I liked what I saw from the Ravens. Like I said, both teams. It's hard to judge because both teams had a lot of uncharacteristic things going on. Whether it was penalties, whether it was Mahomes throwing a interception, almost two. You're not
Yeah.
going to see that again this year, I don't think, unless it's just not in a clutch game.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I don't take too much away from this game. I like what I saw from both teams.
Yeah. 100%. I think it's crazy because Lamar Jackson has shown us over and over again that he hasn't executed in these biggest moments. But I feel like if I saw him play another Chiefs game, I would still put money on Lamar Jackson to make that throw. It's funny how that works because,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you said, he's balling throughout the game. I mean, they're literally not in this game if it's not for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
special football player.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but like certain guys, I don't have problems with people putting their money on them. Lamar Jackson is one of those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patrick, and guess who the guy is who beat Mahomes? Joe Burrow.
The Burrow.
Joe Burrow executes on the highest level. That's why they call him Joe Cool, right? Tom Brady beat him in a playoff game.
And it's
Tom
weird because
Brady's
I feel
gonna
like
execute.
players like Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, even still like Rodgers, Josh Allen, there's certain quarterbacks that definitely make that Zay Flowers throw, but I don't think they're in the game if they're in the same situation because I think Lamar made some plays that no other quarter. So it's hard who I would take if that makes sense in my personal opinion because like I know those quarterbacks will make that throw to Zay Flowers, but there's also none of those quarterbacks I just named will make the plays that they made. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's definitely interesting, but I think from the Chiefs side, moving on to the Chiefs side, I love what I saw from Xavier Worthy, and it pretty much solidified everything I thought. I got them winning the Super Bowl, going three-peat, and I think this will make Mahomes the GOAT. I know it's a little too early, but this offense looks scary without Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown was not playing, so the defense still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
They looked really good, and then Lamar Jackson just being Lamar Jackson, but
Yeah.
I like what I saw from the Chiefs very much so.
Yeah. The Chiefs, I agree once again. I think they're going three-peat. It's just at this point, how can you bet against them? Last year was their down year,
I don't know why you would.
and now it's like they got all these receivers, speedy receivers. We gave this man the fastest human on earth, maybe not really, but like to run
Fastest football player.
fastest football player. So it's like you literally cannot bet against this team at this point. And the defense, like you said, stepped up. By the way, you guys had someone on defense. I just want to bring this up. It was a linebacker, number 40. I forgot what his name
Trent
was.
Simpson?
No, not Trent Simpson was making plays. Trent
Yeah.
Simpson was making plays, but the other guy,
Was it Van Noy?
no, Van
It
Noy.
wasn't and it wasn't Roquan.
It was like Willis or something. He was horrible. He got exposed in this game
Yeah.
by Rashee Rice, who once again, we have
Rashee Rice, yeah.
Rice.
I don't know why we didn't just let Kyle Hamilton guard Rashee Rice the whole game. And then because Hollywood Brown's not playing, so and Kelsey didn't kill us. Obviously, he's a clutch third down player, but I would have put our rookie corner on Xavier Worthy and do it like that. But
yeah, that's smart in my opinion. I feel like that would have been a better than putting linebackers. I've never been a fan of putting linebackers on slot guys.
yeah,
I
because
just
Kyle Hamilton can also guard tight ends. Like, I don't know. It would have been way more interesting, but I definitely like what I saw from both teams, but especially the Chiefs on the fact that they didn't even have Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple catches or a catch like that Juju Smith-Schuster would have made, but I know Hollywood Brown would have made that catch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that offense is going to be really scary once he gets back. And Rashee Rice, he's good.
So, did you think it was a good thing that Lamar cut weight? Do you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, I do. As long as he can stay healthy, because it's crazy. The 1 year that the Bengals won our division, they were not in the lead until Lamar got hurt.
Yeah.
And Lamar sort of was at this weight. So I think Lamar, I like what I saw from Lamar. I feel like if he would have played how he did that against in the championship game, we would won the Super Bowl. But
100%, I agree.
I love that he wasn't relying on passing. The only thing I didn't love is, and it's kind of we have no other receivers, is we were force feeding Zay Flowers the ball, and it was sometimes sort of predictable, I think. But we could not connect on the deep ball to Bateman at all.
No,
like
until the very end.
Yeah, like it just couldn't connect.
Yeah.
I do think Mark Andrews will not be our tight end number one by the end of the year, especially with that connection that they made it when Mark
Yeah.
Andrews was hurt last year. I don't know. I just
But I also don't think that's a problem because I think
and
you guys in the 12 personnel might be our best package with Andrews and Likely out there because
yeah, both of them out there. Yeah.
Andrews still had some plays that he could have
Yeah,
made.
he still has some good catches and
Yeah.
he's a great blocker. Like I don't yeah, I
And,
was fine what
and
I
I think
saw.
I think Bateman will be fine out there as a number two option with Zay Flowers as a one, obviously with Lamar and Derrick Henry. So I feel like
Because
the
if you
air,
look at Bateman from a receiver perspective, if you count the tight ends, he's really a 3 or a 4.
yeah, 100%.
So that's
And
not really bad.
but his Lamar's air distance this game was around like a yard to throw.
Yeah.
But I don't see why that's a bad thing, honestly. Like if he's making the right reads and making the right plays, I'm not gonna be mad at him. Like I can't be mad at him this game for having a yard to throw. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's it's not a good accusation that I've been hearing a lot. But next game,
Facts.
Packers at Eagles or in Brazil. Obviously, turf, slippery turf. We got to get that fixed, NFL. Let's not
That was
sacrifice
bad.
let's
I
not
was I was I was so scared. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Go
Nah,
ahead.
yeah, no, I mean we could talk about that right now. I feel like we shouldn't be sacrificing our players
Yeah.
for just to spread the league globally like that. I feel like that's extremely selfish to not have these guys playing. And now Jordan Love, obviously,
That
I
bro,
mean,
that my is he out for the year? Like it
I
looked
don't.
bad.
I think they said 5 weeks. It could be ankle sprain, high ankle sprain, but he's the starting quarterback on my fantasy team as well. So that's obviously not why this is a bad thing that happened, but that's the ultimate kicker right there. Like we got money on the line. But let me tell you something here, all right? So I picked the Packers to obviously win this game. I picked the Packers to be in my Super Bowl. But that is before I saw this team play. And I had in my mind, I was like, someone's gonna see this video and someone's gonna use this message to inspire that football team. So that being said, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, and I knew they would win this game. And this is why. And this is why. Let me tell you why. Saquon Barkley, we know this from day one, behind that offensive line. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen last night. I mean, it was art. It's inside zone art. And just looking at this game, like it felt this was a better football game than I saw them play all last year. And Jalen Hurts did not play good football
At all.
at all. Well. Let's not say at all because he made some good throws.
Made some good plays, but he just made some crucial like
Yeah,
I mean
some
the snap when he was off with his center and then like those are 3 turnovers right there, the 2 picks. Those are 3
yeah
turnovers. It could have been more picks, honestly. So
yeah. Nah, he could have thrown a pick six before the pick he thrown. So
yeah,
yeah
that's why once again, this kind of gives me vibes of the Chiefs Ravens game. I don't want to take too much away from this game because either team could have won
yeah
because of crucial mistakes. And even though I do think, like you said, Hurts will make a turnover or two, I wouldn't bet on him to make like 3 or something like that.
no
Vice versa. I really liked what I saw from the Packers. I mean, the Packers, that missed field goal killed them.
yeah
But I really do like what I saw from the Packers, and it's hard because they don't have. It's not like these other teams where they have with the Ravens, it's Zay Flowers, or with the Chiefs, like it's. I mean, with the Chiefs, it's kind of hard too now. But in past years, you would say like, oh, it's Kelsey or it's Tyreek.
yeah
With y'all, you pretty much know it's AJ Brown or Smitty, but it's pretty much AJ Brown. Like you know who the main guys are, if that makes sense. And with this
yeah
team, he can spread it around, and you really don't know who to double or who to like. It's very scary. I love what I saw from Josh Jacobs.
yeah
He couldn't get it going for a while, but he got it going later in the game. Seems like he struggled just to get in the end zone though, like goal line. He couldn't. I give credit to the Eagles D line for that.
yeah
But yeah, I would say that was pretty. I like what I saw from them.
yeah. I think once again, I think the difference in this game was the Eagles' red zone defense. Obviously, us getting those 2 early turnovers and them holding the 3 points both possessions was extremely important in this game. Zach Bond, our linebacker, had 15 tackles yesterday. I didn't know who he was before the game.
He's good.
So
They
Great.
said he had like 90 something touchdowns in high school or something. Like
Oh yeah, I saw it, and they said he was a
he's an
hooper.
athlete.
They said he
Yeah, he
had
said he
two
could
state
hoop.
championships. That's wild. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
athlete. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I love what I saw from the Packers side. Honestly, I think barring a couple plays where they actually slipped, like Wick slipped in the middle on the curl,
Literally.
beautiful route.
Literally.
And I think if that gets fixed, then the Packers are still
And
cooking.
it's so much different that's not going to be in the playoffs or the
Yeah,
regular. They're in Brazil. They're slipping on the turf. So I don't want to take too much away. I could just honestly say, like, all four teams that played, I liked what I saw from all four teams, and I think all four teams have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl if that makes sense.
I
I would
mean,
I would still say for me it's between Packers, Eagles, and I'm not counting out the 49ers. I don't it's weird. Like I love the Lions, but I just don't know if they can take that next step. So right now, I'm gonna just leave it at those three teams in the NFC. I think can make the Super Bowl.
yeah, I'm on the same wavelength. Actually, not the 49ers, but I do have the Lions. Maybe they can make something happen. Maybe Dan Campbell is that coach that Garrison thinks he is. Um, but yeah, I think we might have seen the best four teams in football play in these past 2 days.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And
Other than I'm gonna give the Texans their shot too.
yeah, yeah,
On
I was
paper, I
about to
love what I
say,
see.
yeah, the Texans, the 49ers, obviously the Lions. You could throw those guys in there, but I
Yeah.
think once again these might have been the four best teams in football.
Right.
So you got any speed questions for us?
So yeah, first one, I would say, who do you think was like, if we're just going by one player, who's the most outstanding player that you saw this past weekend? Or you most impressed with?
Um, I'm actually gonna go. Let's go the receiver route. I'm gonna go Rasheed Rice,
Mm,
and I think just him being able to open up the middle of the field along with Kelsey, I it's scary. I just feel like Rasheed Rice found his groove earlier last
yeah.
season, and they've legitimately found a number one possession receiver with the speed outside. So I don't know. I think Rasheed Rice was extremely impressive this past weekend, and or this week, and yeah, yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah, me personally, I'm gonna go Barkley. I
Yeah.
think he could have if Hurts didn't like once again, it didn't cost them, but against Mahomes, it could have. But that little mishap on fourth or what third and goal at the 1 yard line when they
Oh yeah,
stuff the snap, like certain things like that, you just can't have against
yeah,
certain teams. But I think Barkley would have 4 touchdowns
yeah.
if they would have just ran the ball right there. So
I don't know why we're still trying to do the tush push. Honestly, like I feel like especially on third down,
yeah,
run the football. Like
yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't if you don't get in, I feel like that should be a fourth down play and fourth
yeah,
down only. Like just run the football, but I don't know. Yeah,
yeah. And then on top of that, it's kind of uh, like I'm saying, I would really love to see if Barkley would have this whole line his whole career because, he,
there's an
yeah,
argument that he might be a top five most talented back. I mean he literally
is that yeah,
he does
bro?
not have a hole in his game.
No, not at
So
all.
yeah, I
And
mean
like honestly, I think if he would have had the situation, he would be better than CMC was.
for sure, 100,000%,
Like,
I
you know
agree
what
with
I'm
that.
saying? And that sounds crazy, but it's really not.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. That's really all I have for speed questions. Actually, one more. Obviously, you said you like what you saw from all four teams, but which team out of the four were you most impressed with if you had to say, like, just choosing one team?
I mean, it has to be the Chiefs, right? Because
Yeah.
I feel like in this league right now, the Chiefs are the standard. And when you watch these teams play, the Packers obviously were a competitive team last year. The Eagles just went to a Super Bowl, Ravens, NFC. These are all good teams, but they've been good teams, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know after we saw three sloppy Lamar Jackson not being able to make throws, Jalen Hurts throwing costly turnovers, even Jordan Love slipping and missing some throws. Like
Yeah.
we know who these guys are. The Chiefs, their ability to acquire more assets offensively and then maintain their defensive coordinator and maintain that defensive culture. I mean, it can't get better, and there can't be a team that you would more expect to three-peat than the Kansas City Chiefs at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're good. And it's scary because like Mahomes just elevates like Hollywood Brown's gonna be so much of a better player. Xavier Worthy probably wouldn't be amazing in other, like You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I
But
agree
with
100%.
Mahomes, it's just the perfect fit because he knows how to use everybody's strengths
Yes,
perfectly. Now that he knows how to read defenses, it's it's scary.
it's
And
scary.
if Mahomes three-peats this year, is it obvious for you or
That
no?
that he's the GOAT?
Yes.
It has to be. I mean,
Yeah.
he's done what Brady has done already. He's controlled the game. He's literally like the mastermind of the NFL right now. Like he
Yeah.
just it's his league. And if he can three-peat, something that Brady didn't do, and as far as football talent, he obviously is more mobile than him. He obviously has a bigger arm than him. I
More
feel like
talented.
I feel like what could you say?
Yeah. I
I don't know.
mean, and he's won with many different situations. He's won having to go on the road in the playoffs. He's won a Super Bowl with a pretty bad defense, not
Yes.
a Super Bowl level defense. He won the Super Bowl and his team led the league in drops. It's like he overcomes pretty much any situation. I mean, go to the Bills. He's down with 13 seconds to go.
He's
He
gonna overcome it.
it's like, dang, you have to be perfect against this team in the playoffs.
Literally.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with you. He would be the GOAT. But that's all I have for speed questions.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously, we're gonna have more online episodes coming soon
For sure.
because my boy Gavin up there hooping right now. Proud of him. But thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.